how is it being a father?
Oh man, I guess I've always wanted to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of my big goals in my life. Like growing up, I wanted to get married and I wanted to have a family. And for the longest time, I just wasn't finding the right person that I feel like I could start that family with or even get married to. And then when I finally like met you and just realized, oh yeah, this can be a reality. It's like, oh yeah, I can be a dad and I will be a dad. When we got pregnant, I was like, oh crap, like my dreams are coming true. So I think fatherhood was something that I looked to almost like an aspiration because I had so many great father figures in my life and I wanted to see if I could be that kind of person to a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met you and then we're like, okay, let's start a family, I was like, I'm all for it. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, this is real.
Let's do it. And then, yeah, and I think it really didn't hit me that I was a dad in the hospital at all. I was almost like on cloud 9. I was like, this is our baby. Like we made this thing. And I was just like,
we made
holy
this
crap, like he is ours. This baby that we're going home with like only 2 days after you gave birth. Like this is our kid. And we get to bring him home. So bam, bam, bam. 75th annual ice cream cone ASMR.
What the hell is ASMR?
We talked about this last week.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, the audio sensory blah 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 blah.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh my gosh. All right,
what was
guys.
I eating last week?
Huh?
I was eating ice
You
cream
were
last
eating
week
ice
too.
cream.
That's
I get
funny.
a theme going on here. Guys, welcome. This is the Unscripted Conversations podcast. My name is Jay.
And I'm Molly.
welcome to another episode. And Molly's eating ice cream again. You were eating it over a bowl last week.
Yeah, I was eating it. It was a Costco one. You were eating ice cream too. You just didn't start the recording until you were done.
I ate
and
it
then
all.
You were like, okay, we're going to start now. And I'm like, okay.
Just like that. You want to wipe your mic while you're at it? Alrighty, guys, welcome back. This is our Father's Day episode. Just kind of shouting out fatherhood and the men in our lives that have impacted us. And yeah, just kind of roll with that conversation today. Quick little update on our lives. We recently got a basketball hoop installed in our front yard, our driveway.
And I beat Jay in free throw shooting contest, just so everybody knows.
But I won horse.
Nobody cares about horse.
Yeah, so we got a basketball hoop. We've always wanted one. We aren't like the greatest basketball players, but it's nice to like shoot around. And we have probably the best driveway in the neighborhood because our driveway is pretty darn flat. Everybody else has like a little slant, so it's probably hard to play, but our driveway is flat. And the way we positioned it, we have like a good 3-pointer like area that we can like create on the side. So yeah, our driveway's pretty big actually.
Yeah, we have a good driveway for basketball.
I was actually surprised at how far away the free throw line was. Just shooting free throws, I was like, holy smokes, this is actually pretty far.
It doesn't look that far, like when other people are shooting, like or on TV or whatever.
Yeah. Well, those guys are like 6'6".
Yeah,
plus.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I was like, do we move the there's like a crankshaft on the basketball hoop, so it can go down to 6 feet and all the way up to 10. I was like, do we lower it? And I was like, no, we got to play at regulation. So 10 feet it is.
Or we could start at no, I thought it was 9.
No, 10 feet.
Well, we could start at 9 and see what and then slowly crank it up to 10, practice and then
practice. Yeah.
It's kind of like lifting weights. You always
True.
start at a lower weight,
but
work your way up.
But you just gotta do it. Muscle memory.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then you're gonna get used.
Pretty
to
soon,
shooting
I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah.
Nothing but net.
No, it's more like. No. It's doing ASMR here. Basketball edition. Douche, douche, douche. That's dribbling it.
That's true.
Anyway, so we got that. Our garden is freaking growing like crazy.
I love it.
Yeah. We planted some lettuce. I think I already shared this story. Chopped off the romaine lettuce that we had bought from Costco, and then I just jammed it in the dirt, and now it's growing lettuce.
Growing new leaves.
New leaves.
The lettuce is growing new lettuce.
The lettuce is growing new lettuce. Well, technically it is because it's an old lettuce growing a new lettuce. Spinach is growing. Tomatoes are growing.
Now that we covered it, everything I feel like just looks like it's happier.
Yeah.
It wasn't as hot the last few days either, though, which I'm sure helped too.
True.
It was warm.
The weather here in Wisconsin has been so dumb lately.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. Like it was hot and kind of humid today, but yesterday was kind of like there was a good chill.
It's cold in the morning. Still 48 degrees in the morning. 48 degrees, people.
Freaking Wisconsin, man.
Ridiculous.
What else is new? Workouts. Oh, here's a little shout out for Molly. Molly is a ambassador for Mint. You want to tell him a little bit about Mint?
No.
Why not?
Because?
We can't yet?
No.
Oh. Why not? Oh. Anyways, she's an ambassador for Mint, and we'll share more of that news later. We just need to organize it. But yeah, so I got a famous wifey over here. But anyways, we've been killing it.
Cool workouts.
Yes. And then the other night I max repped. I got my new 1 rep max back squat.
What was it?
385? No, just 380.
Oh, it was 375.
375 was my previous 1 rep max back squat. And then I did 380.
Yeah, it was
pretty cool. And then the other night I did power clean and jerks.
Yeah, those were good too.
That was my 1 rep max at 215. I'll take it. Like I think that's like, when you see some gains in the gym, you just like get a little excited.
Yeah.
And then you injure yourself. Like your neck. My neck. My hips were killing me after that back squat session that we had.
What did we do? When did we do shoulders together?
Shoulders was last Friday. No, we didn't work out on Friday. Last Thursday was shoulders.
That long ago?
Mm-hmm.
That killed my shoulders.
Yeah. Because we didn't do much shoulders this week because you were doing a different workout. You know what we need to work on is cardio. I was supposed to do a cardio session today of 1,000.
You did one thing of it.
I did 300 meters and I was like done. So the cardio session was 1,000 meter row. Then you take the time that it took you to do the 1,000 meters and you rest for 50% of that time.
Okay.
And then you do 800 meters and then you rest for half of that, however long it took you to do 800 meters. You keep going down 600, 400, and 200. So essentially it's like your rest time gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah, but you could take as long as you want to finish it, and then you have longer rest times.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's not the point.
That's what I thought. Well, you might as well just do it slow so you have a longer rest time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I mean, that could be, but that's not the stimulus that you're trying to get.
Oh.
Then the asterisk on the workout said to go a little quicker each time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nah.
I did 350 meters of the 1,000. I was like, forget this.
Oh my god.
My cardio sucks.
That's bad, babe. I did a little bit of cardio the other day with that one workout because I was supposed to do 6 rounds.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah. What was it like? Row?
I was like pacing myself, but I was like still trying to like get it done. Get a good
stimulus. Yeah. You know what I need to do? I need to start running. Yeah, maybe I'll just wake up in the morning and go on a run.
You've said that for a year.
I know, but it's summertime now. I'm going to take my shirt off and run down the street.
Get all
in the morning.
The
soccer moms looking at me.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. Cul-de-sac moms.
Sack moms?
Cul-de-sac.
Oh, cul-de-sac moms. I was like, sack moms? Yeah, I'm going to wave to this. So there's this one house down the road. They're not very friendly, so...
We don't know that for sure. We just like You know how you feel like you can wave to certain people, and like these ones just seem like they're not really sure if they want to wave. So like, like we're trying to make it a point to like wave at them every time, just to make them a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We did that to our neighbors across the street, and we got them to wave at us.
Yeah, they like us now.
Yeah, they actually talk to us.
Yeah, we're like.
I hope they listen to this one day. They're like, oh,
that's us.
That's us.
They're talking about us. I think, and this is exactly what I just told Molly before we started recording this conversation. I think we just made, and this is not just tooting our own horn.
No.
But, we are just the kind of people who are just like a little bit more welcoming. And I think when we moved into the neighborhood is just like cool with us. You know, we're just like this younger, hipper, kind of like fun couple and family on the block now.
Yeah.
Kids, like when we were playing basketball, the kid across the street
was like,
was just like, oh, like just staring at us, even though we freaking sucked.
He got tall.
Yeah, he did. He's only 11 years old too.
12. Gonna be 12. Yeah, like soon.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, I haven't seen you all winter, and like, damn, you got tall. I mean, we like see him, but like, I don't know, it just like, it hit me now. I was like, oh, you're like almost as tall as your dad.
And they're like such nice kids too. We gifted them some Harry Potter stuff for their birthday last year because their birthday was Harry Potter themed.
Yeah.
And so we had some stuff from our honeymoon that we gave to them. And then they came over to say thank you.
Yeah.
I think they wrote a note too.
Yeah. Their handwriting was so bad.
Yeah.
No, sorry. If you listen to this, like, no judgment at all. But I was like, damn, your handwriting was my handwriting bad. You know, like when you like see little kids doing stuff, like, for example, we're talking about basketball. When I went and like watched my little cousins play basketball at the same school I went to, I looked at my mom and I was like, we weren't that bad, were we? Like, you know, because you're learning and stuff. I thought we were so good and so cool.
But you guys were just as bad?
Just as bad. Or, you know, just as learning, you know? I was like, we only scored 10 points a game. Like, there's no way, you know, or like, I think it was a little bit more, but she was like, no, yep, that was it. And I was like, dang, no way, you know? So it's like, you know, you look at kids and you're like, I wasn't like that.
And
you know,
you were.
My handwriting was better than that at 11. And like, I probably wasn't, you know? So, you know, like, so.
It's all relative, right?
Yes.
Because in the moment, as a kid, you're just you don't like
realize
jaded.
It. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And then now you look back and you're like, holy crap.
Holy
like,
crap. I was so the same
like,
or
what
whatever.
What the frick was I wearing? Like, why did I do my hair like that?
Oh my God. Yes.
I sometimes
like,
look
also
at
like, why did my mom let me do that?
Yeah, right?
I didn't look good.
I remember LA Looks was a gel back when I was in middle school. I would cake that shit up. And there was like different holds. Like I would get the extreme. Yes. It was a blue LA Looks gel, and it was glue. It was so rock solid. And I would gel my hair, and because I would have this like hair on the back of my head that would just stick up like alfalfa, I would gel my hair forward, and it would just be rock solid all day. And I just remember like at the end of the day, I would like wash my hair off, and it would have like white flakes, you know, like I was just like the gel just like dried up. Yeah, that was like my hair, and I have no hair.
That's probably why.
Bald as shit.
Probably why, because you're using so much gel.
Probably. No, it was dental school. Dental school made me bald. Seriously, I had a good hair in dental school until it started going away. You remember that photo I had of me with a comb over?
Kind of.
Thick black hair, man. It was.
Couldn't
I used
have been
to wear a
that
do-rag to
It doesn't go away that fast. 4 years, it was gone.
Oh, yeah. Quick. Residency, like, poof.
You should have.
Gone.
Poof. Poof. Do you remember that one time where I was like, hey, fix your hair?
And I was like... It's ridiculous. So did you fix your hair?
I don't know. You didn't look at it, and I didn't look at it, and now I'm like touching it.
No,
you
did it right there. Yeah.
That's okay. No one can see that side. It's angled this way.
What else do we got going on? We're planning Conrad's first birthday.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. We're almost got
6 weeks. We're gonna have a
1-year-old.
5 weeks. Holy crap.
That's insane.
That is insane.
We're gonna have a
1-year-old. You said 5-year-old.
I know. Well, you said 5 weeks. That's why I was like, yeah, you know what? We're going to listen to this podcast, and then we're going to be like, oh, crap. 5 years came so quick.
Yeah, I know.
That's nuts. So freaking nuts.
So nuts.
But yeah, so we're planning Conrad's birthday. I don't know what else is going on in our lives. Oh, got so excited that I bought a storm door for our front door. This is what happens when you become a homeowner and you start adulting so hard. Like even just crap like that. Oh, storm door. I'm so happy. Lawnmower. I'm so happy. Garden that's growing. I'm so happy. Like, what the frick?
You're a weirdo.
I'm such a weirdo.
But we have to enjoy certain things like that. Otherwise, our lives would be boring.
Well, I think we're at a different stage in our lives now where we appreciate this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you when I was living in my apartment and I wasn't dreaming of lawnmowers. I can guarantee you that. I was happy I wasn't doing the lawn.
Yeah. No, I think you were envious of people who got to mow their lawn because you didn't know how horrible it actually was.
Yeah, and I hadn't mowed a lawn in like decades.
You've mowed a lawn before moving to Wisconsin?
Yeah. We had a small lawn in Vegas, like very, very small.
Did you even need a lawnmower? Couldn't you have just went out there with like...
Oh my gosh.
Or like one of those pushed like blade ones?
Nope. I think I did it maybe like a few times in Vegas at our old house.
Yeah.
The concrete block right in front of the house, the driveway wasn't that. It was grass first. And we had a tree. My dad cut it down. And then he turned the grass into concrete so he can park his truck there. And that's where we parked our boat and our jet skis and then like other cars and stuff. So, yeah, we had grass.
You had jet skis?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh? And we sold them. We had 4-wheelers. 2 4-wheelers. And I had like PTSD because I launched off of that one time.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Speaking about 4-wheelers and PTSD and boats and stuff. My dad, like that was his thing. He was all about his toys. And so I think that's the one thing like I learned a lot of different things because we had a lot of different like sportsy stuff. Boats, jet skis, Volkswagen Beetles. He restored those and was part of a Volkswagen Beetle club.
I want one of those.
Oh, they're coming out. I sent Molly. They're coming out with the new Volkswagen bus, electric. I said, I put on my Instagram, I was like, this is the only bus or van I'll consider getting. Dude, those things look pretty sick.
They do look pretty
They're like
cool.
very nostalgic.
I like the colors. They're like bright and like
just out
hippie.
there. Yeah.
You know, like.
That actually made me think of, so something came up on my Instagram. Oh, Nike. So Nike has a member sale right now, like 20% off. And I was like, oh, let's see what they have, Air Max 1s. Molly has a couple Air Max 1s that are just like out there. The Safari ones, the red, black, and white ones with the cow print.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I think shoes need to be like this. Shoes need to just be like totally out there and not just plain. But when some of the like these shoes come out, I was just like, holy crap, that's a lot.
That's a little too much.
Yeah, like the other ones you have, the other Safari ones.
The yellow ones?
The yellow
with
ones.
The blue,
with
like
the blue and the pink.
corduroy. And I like those ones.
Those are so out
with
there.
With the leopard print and like.
I think that's just like so out there. People probably think it's ridiculous, but I think that's like a statement piece. Yeah, totally. So like going off of that, like some of these cars, maybe that's why like Lamborghinis and Ferraris look so good in like the lime green, the purples, the pinks, because it's just like out there and it's flashy.
Yeah.
And people like it.
Well, and like people who drive those want to be flashy.
Yeah, true.
Because they want you to see their car.
So do you want to be flashy and people see your shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like when people say, oh, I like your kicks.
I like your kicks. Caught my drip.
Caught my drip, though.
What's the fit of the day? I had my assistants ask me, what's SOTD?
Oh, my God.
And I was like, shoe of the day? And she's like, oh, okay. And it's like, what's FOTD? And I was like, fit of the day? It's like, what's fit? I'm like, oh my gosh. God. You guys.
That's funny. Well, going back to like your dad, like how is it being a father?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I guess I've always wanted to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of my big goals in my life. Like growing up, I wanted to get married and I wanted to have a family. And for the longest time, I just wasn't finding the right person that I feel like I could start that family with or even get married to. And then when I finally like met you and just realized, oh yeah, this can be a reality. It's like, oh yeah, I can be a dad and I will be a dad. When we got pregnant, I was like, oh crap, like my dreams are coming true. So I think fatherhood was something that I looked to almost like an aspiration because I had so many great father figures in my life and I wanted to see if I could be that kind of person to a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met you and then we're like, okay, let's start a family, I was like, I'm all for it. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, this is real.
Let's do it. And then, yeah, and I think it really didn't hit me that I was a dad in the hospital at all. I was almost like on cloud 9. I was like, this is our baby. Like we made this thing. And I was just like,
we made
holy
this
crap, like he is ours. This baby that we're going home with like only 2 days after you gave birth. I'm like, this is our kid. And we get to bring him home. So I think it didn't hit me until we came home and we were just like sitting on the couch and I was holding him and I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like I'm for sure a dad now. Mm-hmm. So the past 10 months, almost 11 months have just been like almost a dream because looking back at some photos of him, he was so small.
He was so small. Now he's so big.
He's so big now and like about to walk. He says words. He understands things. Like when you say all done, like he gives us the motion for all done. He does this weird, quirky, like laugh thing where he like scrunches his eyes like this and goes, he does that. It's random. And I was like, but this is so dang cute.
I love how he knows, like, we, when we go upstairs for the night or like we're going down the stairs, if one of us is ahead of each other, he like, we always go, okay, shh, we're going to scare mommy or we're going to scare daddy. And like now he knows that's like what we're doing. And he like,
he'll like hide,
but then like sneaks out through the like around the corner or whatever. And he has a stupid ass grin on his face.
Yeah. And
just like he's like learning, like when you were chasing him down the hallway, like he's 10 months old and he gets like being chased. Like I was like, what is this? Like it was so cute. And then he would chase back after you. And he would chase
back after me, but he would make the same like growling noise that I would make.
And then he would scream when he was being chased, you know.
He's so funny. I think like,
you know what he did today? My mom said.
What?
So my mom watches him on Fridays and she swears that when he was tired the first time.
Yeah,
did she tell you? He like laid his head on her shoulder and was like, "Night."
Yeah, she told me that too.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, fatherhood is like one of those responsibilities, but also a privilege and an honor to have that title as a father. And I think I learned that like how to be a dad from like my dad being like the patriarch that he was. Like he was the provider, right? You always hear about like how dads is like they're the main provider. But in this day and age, like why can't it be both? You know? And we work well together where it feels and operates, you know, as both of us. You know, we take the equal responsibilities in parenthood. Not saying that my mom and my dad didn't.
No, but it's different. It's different
nowadays.
You know, I was thinking about that too. Like there was almost more of a delineation of like who does what, like when our parents were growing up, and now it's really not for everybody, but at least for us, there's not those lines of you do this because you're the father or you're the man, and I do this because I'm the woman and I'm the mother. You know, like we share those responsibilities.
Agree. Yeah.
And that's just how life and culture and society has changed.
Yeah. I mean, my dad like even said one time he saw on the Ring camera that Molly was mowing the lawn.
Yeah, I think we've said that before.
Have we? Yeah.
Like,
and he yelled at me. He's like, "Why you make Molly mow the lawn? You do the lawn."
Yeah.
And I was like, she can do the lawn. I was like, no, you do the lawn.
Yeah.
And then like got at me because that's a man's job.
Yeah. That was funny.
But yeah, I think I credit a lot of like the stern, patriarchy kind of I guess experience to how my dad like was to in our family. And it wasn't bad. He did what he needed to do to support his family. And he even told me himself that like he is proud of like the person I am as a father and like how patient I am with Conrad, because he said that himself, like he was the one who went to work and he made the money for the family, and my mom was like the caretaker and the nurturer and things like that, but he was there when he needed to be. But his primary goal was to support his family financially. And it's just like different, because like I do that now, but I'm also like helping to be like the nurturer as well, and like take responsibilities with Conrad.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that because sometimes I need that help.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not as patient or,
I was so impatient like this afternoon with Conrad.
Sometimes, man.
Dude, he just like woke up crying, and then I was like, what do you want? And then he would like push himself off of me. So I put him down, and then he would cry. Then pick him up, and then he just like kind of does that like leaning over thing. I was like, what do you want? And he would just like keep crying.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you want? Like, just
I know, like,
speak already.
Like sometimes I'm like, I wish he could just say something, but then I'm like, we're gonna miss that time when he's not talking.
He's not talking all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard. Do you think is there anything that is more challenging than you thought it would be as a dad?
I don't know if like it's challenging to be a dad, but trying to find that balance on family time and also getting other stuff done. For instance, we have a room to paint in Prime, and I just want to like do it, but I can't just do it and like leave my family to just go sit around and let Molly take care of Conrad, which I can, but we like to do stuff together. So when we have projects like this, we like to do them together, and so we have to find that window when Conrad's sleeping to be able to do these things. So I think that, and also like mowing the lawn, it's like a couple weeks ago I did the lawn, and it took me like almost 2 hours to do it because I had to bag all this stuff. But then now it's like
that was a yawn. It wasn't a burp, it was a yawn.
But like, and good thing Conrad was going to bed or something, or just at that point where he just needed to play a little bit and then go take a nap. But stuff like that, it's like I got to get stuff done, but how do I balance that with spending time with my family? So I think if that's what parenthood kind of taught me, is like time management and like figuring out when to get stuff done.
I remember like my mom and like certain people always saying like, if your house is dirty, it doesn't matter. Like, it's spending time with the kids is what's more important. And I think like, yes, there's certain things that need to get done, like painting the room or like doing the grass and stuff. But I think like as we finish like those big tasks that we need to get done, like those projects, like really like next year, we really shouldn't have any like big projects to do, and like we can choose not to just do a project and just, focus on spending time as a family. And, so, I think like as we just make this place more a home, things like that are going to get easier. Yeah. And
I think we're at that, like it's busy this year because we've kind of just shifted stuff around the house. But I think, like the backyard, almost done. I got my lawnmower. The basketball hoop is up. We've moved rooms. We're painting. Once that paint job is done, like that's it, really. And it's all about just like decorating and doing smaller projects, but nothing major. We need to get
his room a little bit more organized and stuff. But like we need to like move stuff out of there to do that. And so,
Yeah, but I don't, it's like one of those things, again, as a homeowner, it's like you got all these other things to do. Oh, the storm door, stuff like that. But I think, there's really no major projects that I can think of. Maybe just a little bit of like, I don't know. I know we said something about like the backyard doing something like the rocks up top.
Oh yeah.
But that's not like a major. I mean, it's a major project, but
it is. But it's like something that can be done in a couple weekends or something.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, it's just like that, just like finding the time. I think that's what parenthood kind of taught me, is just like managing time, which I feel like
you manage time pretty good.
Yeah,
I think sometimes we can just worry less about certain things and do more things as a family, which will get easier too when like Conrad wants to do certain things instead of just playing or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
we can actually go do things and he's going to enjoy it.
Yeah. And he's pretty good right now of keeping himself occupied too.
Yes.
Like we were working out today and he was just kind of running around in his walker, like pulling himself up on like the bar and stuff. So
yeah, no, he does really good, and like we can go out and do things and he does well. It's not like we have to stay at home. It's just like we can do things that he's gonna enjoy too as a family,
And I feel like that's one of the things that we decided we have to do.
Yeah, we need to
be out and about, because we're not just gonna get cooped up in our house because we have
I feel like the only reason we're at our house is because like we feel like we need to get all this stuff done here.
Yeah.
When we're in reality, like at least like the last couple weekends, we really don't have that much to do.
Yeah.
So we need to start thinking of like other things to do and prioritizing that.
For sure. Yeah. Talking about father figures, what I guess your mom was kind of both mom and dad. Did you ever feel like you saw like a different side of your mom and it's like, oh, that's what a dad would do?
No, not at all. I have no idea what a dad should do or shouldn't do. Like, even though I had like father figures in my life, I don't think I ever really understood what a father should be. I think I'm still learning that.
So how did you how some people be like, oh, girls will look up to their dads to see what kind of father or what kind of husband they want or not want.
Mm-hmm.
How did you ever come about to wanting a certain kind of guy like moi?
That's a good question. I don't know. Honestly, I think I knew that I needed somebody who was strong and independent, but also like willing to help. And I think probably I figured that out from like past relationships and stuff more than anything. I think as much as you think you know who and what you want in a person, you don't know that until you actually start being with someone. And I don't think you really know that too until you start living with someone. And especially at like younger ages. Like I know, we met each other like we were in our 30s. So I feel like we already kind of knew what we wanted from our experiences, or just like being an independent person like you knew that you wanted to stay independent in a sense, but having that person to be independent with, I guess, having a companion, if that makes sense,
for sure.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know where I like, maybe from my grandparents' relationship a little bit. Like I knew how much they loved each other, but at the same time, like I was only 11 or 12 when like my grandpa passed away. So I didn't I saw their relationship growing up, but at 12 and younger, you don't really know what you're seeing, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like if I had anybody else that I was like, oh, like, friends' parents or anything. I know my friend Caitlin, like her parents were always just seemed happy and, there for each other. And so maybe that a little bit,
Yeah.
Just people who supported each other and like put their family first. Like they went out to Disney every 5 years. Like that was their family trip, and they always saved for it. And they always like, that was their thing. And, so yeah, I think maybe that a little bit. I mean, I really didn't have like, no offense to like my family or anything, but like a good like relationship to look up to,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, like I said, from my past relationships, absolutely. I know I wanted someone who was going to put in the same effort I was putting in, and that's what you do. And so I'm just so thankful when I think about that, like every day, of like how much we have equal parts in everything.
Yeah.
Not one. I don't have to tell you to do something. I can ask you to do something, but I don't have to tell you to do something. I hated that, like in past relationships. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you to do the frickin' dishes. There's frickin' dishes sitting in the frickin' sink. Like, and then it would become an argument of, well, I don't want you to feel like my mother, but you could like tell me what you want me to get done.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Like, that's so and that's so contradictory. Like, I need to tell you, but at the same time, you don't want me to feel like your mother, but your mother has to tell you what, like, I don't, like, what? Like, just never made sense. So, like, I'm glad that we don't have that. Again, we can tell each other, like, this is our task we want to get done, or, can you please help me do this? But it's not like I have to tell you to do it. You know what I mean? It's a different.
And I think one of the things that we've kind of worked well with is not to order something.
Yes.
But to make it a team effort.
Yes.
Like, hey, like for instance, the dishes. Like,
yes.
You don't say, hey, can you do the dishes? Or, hey, you need to do the dishes. Yes. The sink is getting full. Yeah. Can you fill up the dishwasher?
Yes.
But it's more like, hey, we need to clean up the kitchen, or hey, we need to do the dishes. And so it's not just like you do this. It's like, hey, we need to do this, because collectively we both can help out in some way, whether that's one person is doing the dishes, another person's cleaning the stove or wiping off the countertops or something. Right. So it's
or taking like care of Conrad.
Yeah.
Well, or, the other person gets it done because that's what needs to get done. Or yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's a good question. I don't know. Do you have like a relationship that like you looked up to, or like?
I think it evolved over time.
Yeah.
And it was like a conglomeration of different like father figures. Like, for instance, my mission president. Like, he was so caring. He would listen intently when you spoke. He would give you such wisdom when he spoke. Like, when he talked, it was as if he was speaking gospel. And he was so fatherly. Like, when you think of like a father who like will nurture his kids, like that's what he did to us as adults or young adults. Then I had obviously my dad, who was the provider. He showed me what hard work was and how to keep your head up during trials. He was kind of hard on us, but only because he knew of our potential and he didn't want us to waste it away.
Right.
So I learned that from him. My grandpa was just a jack of all trades. I learned to have and be well-rounded because of him. Like, to know a little bit about everything. He may not be a master of, all things, but, to have a little dabble here and there. He taught me that. Some of my mentors, like Dr. Nen, and just the way him and his wife are, just like very loving and like supportive of each other in their careers. Like, it's just stuff like that. It was like a mix of different men in my life that I was like, okay, that's, if I could put them all together, that would be like an ideal father, husband, friend, brother. I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
I fall short, obviously, we all do, but I always look to those men as role models and how I should be and how I want to be.
Yeah.
And in some areas, like I check it off and I'm like, okay, I did that, and I will continue to do that. Always a work in progress.
Yeah, and I don't think you should like, what's the word I'm looking, like,
compare myself.
Not even compare, but like sell yourself short. That's what I'm looking for. Like own who you are and own what you do, and you're great at it. Like, don't just be like, oh, I fall short. No, like own it. Like, you do great. And maybe I need to just tell you that more. Like, you're a great husband. You're a great father. You're a great friend. Like, not only to me, but your other friends. And we all like have areas to improve on, right?
Yeah.
Like, but like, don't be like, I fall short. No, you hit all the boxes. You do great. That. Like, but yeah, maybe we can improve on certain areas that we've talked about, you know, maybe being a better friend, reaching out to people a little bit better, or just, you know, we always compare ourselves to other people when we're like leaving after like meeting with friends, like, oh, why aren't we so genuine like that? But like, you know, we do pretty good, you know, like, so yes, there's always room for improvement, but I don't feel like we like fall short on any like big box or big, you know, like point or whatever.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Yeah, I won't. Thank you for pointing that out, though. I think
I know what you mean, but like, I just feel like you're making yourself just like downing what you do, you know? Like,
I think that comes from a little bit of not settling.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you feel like, oh yeah, I did great at that.
Yeah.
Then there's no room
You're
for
being
you
humble.
to be. Yeah. Or trying to be.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you should be like, I'm a great X, Y, and Z. Like, no. Yeah. I know what you're saying, but I think that's a
you're just basically
poor way of saying it. Like,
yeah, give yourself some credit.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, where credit is due. And saying you falling short, I just feel like is a little bit more negative than it needs to be.
True. I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I need to work on that.
You do. You do that to yourself a lot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just got to remind you.
Remind me.
Okay.
Speaking about reminding me, this flower's starting to smell.
That's so funny.
I can smell it. It's not as sweet as I thought it would be. It smells like a freaking plant. Sorry, Catherine. Can you smell it?
No.
It smells like a gardenia. It ain't sweet.
Finally
I don't know why she said it's sweet. It smells like gardenia.
It probably smells like a flower, babe, and you never think flowers smell good.
I can smell it so bad right here. Anyways. Yeah, so, you know, with this Father's Day that is upon us, I'm grateful to be a father. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to hold that title and be a father to Conrad. And I think that regardless of sex or gender, I think even women, single moms like your mom, can also take on, as opposed to just motherhood, take on fatherhood, or just blanket statement parenthood.
Yeah.
You know, because single parents do have to take on that responsibility of nurturing, you know, not only as a mother but also as a father, or vice versa. But I also feel that like other people who don't have kids can take on that title too.
Absolutely.
For other people, you know,
in different
aspects
or
capacities.
Thanks. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I just want to, I don't know if my dad listens to this podcast. I doubt it. I think my mom watches it on YouTube. But, shout out to my pops. I love you. Happy Father's Day. I am the man I am today because of your example, and I appreciate you so much. I love you, Pops. That's a neat, cool thing. So I never like grew up calling my dad like daddy, or I think I said dad, but it was so like, I don't know,
weird.
dad. Yeah, dad didn't quite fit.
Yeah.
And then so I started calling him Pops. I don't know when I started calling him Pops. Maybe like high school, maybe, or maybe in college. I just called him Pops, and it just stopped. It just stuck. Like everybody else, like Kathy calls Pops.
That's funny.
But then when we're talking about Pops to somebody else, like to mom or ma, we'll just say, "Hey, is Dad going to?"
That's so weird.
Yeah. But then when we talk to him,
when you address him,
we call him by Pops.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I always had a problem like saying dad growing up, and like it just like doesn't come off of my mouth right. Or Like, it just feels so weird. It feels a little bit better now because, like, we have a son and it's like, I'm saying, oh, say dada or like whatever. It seems a little, but I think it's because I have a person to do that to.
Yeah.
Like before, it was just always like, this just like,
there's
calling him dad was so weird.
Yeah.
Like, even though he was my dad, because he was never my dad, you know, like a physical person.
Yeah.
So at times I would be like the sperm donor.
Oh my god.
And not to be like disrespectful towards him or anything, like it, but it just felt like
you never had that relationship.
Right.
With
So
him.
it was hard to, you know, label him or like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
More than just that person, you know, who like
for sure
gave me that other half of his DNA. It was just weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The other half of his DNA.
It's true. It just like, I didn't know him and, you know, I didn't know, you know, we just didn't connect with his family, you know, after so long. And so like, it just, there was just no connection
Would
there.
you though?
Now?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Oh, I was going to say.
You know, no, I mean, it's just like there's just been too much time in between. Now, if I ran into them on the street and they recognized me, I wouldn't recognize them. Like, would I be respectful? Absolutely, you know, and stuff. But there's just been too much time now, and I would just feel like such an outsider, and it just would be weird. It would just be weird. Yeah. I think I would be a little bit more open if someone had reached out to me
like through the years.
Yeah, because they have in the past. So if they did again, like now, I'd probably be a little bit more open just to saying hi, not really saying much about myself, because I've just always had that fear that they would say something about my mom and then it's just like,
it makes it
just
awkward.
Yeah, and I would be mad about it. And like I've also learned throughout the years not to put yourself in situations that are just going to be tough and things, because it just, in the long run, it's not worth going through that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've done that enough, and it's just,
it's not worth your time.
It's just not worth my time. So like, I just don't think I would. There's really nobody left. You know, I would, if my grandparents wanted to say something or whatever, then I would be a little bit more open to like going and talking to them, but they're both gone. Yeah. And, you know, and stuff. So it's like,
for sure,
it's just not, just weird now.
Agree.
But I will also shout out your dad, Pops, because he has just welcomed me into the family so much as that father figure for me as well. And, you know, has treated me like a daughter, and I can't express my gratitude with that enough, because I've never had that. So it's just nice to have that person that I can actually feel good calling Pops. A dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you crying?
No.
You know, shout out also to all the other dads out there. We have amazing men in this world who take care and provide for their family. So shout out to you for doing the job that you signed up for. My cousins, I just want to shout out JR for taking care of, you know, these two beautiful young girls who are growing up to be amazing women and examples of their mom, our late cousin Rem. So shout out to you, JR. I know you probably listen to this podcast. So your example of being a father is so honorable, and one that I look up to and how I want to be for my family. And also to Marvin and Jarrett. You know, you guys are killing it as fathers as well. Not to diminish, you know, what you guys do for your families because of what JR does for the two girls, but you guys are amazing fathers. So happy Father's Day to you. And then also to my brother-in-law, Zach. One day, buddy, you're gonna join this fatherhood.
He's a doggy daddy.
He is a doggy daddy.
And he is a great doggy daddy.
Yeah. You see his Snapchats every morning.
Yes.
He takes Aries for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Zach.
he's a great uncle, and that's one of those father capacities, you know, that we talked about.
For sure.
You know, so he's just practicing how to be a dad with all of our cousins or our little nieces and nephews and stuff, and he's just getting some good practice in until it's his turn, which will come. So we can't wait for you guys to be here.
Visit. Yeah.
And I think Conrad's gonna like him this time.
I think
and
Conrad might.
He's a little bit bigger now, where Zach actually might be a little bit more excited about hanging out and playing with him. He's got
to get the practice in.
Yeah. He might need to trim the beard before he comes. I know. Maybe we can help his mom out and get him to trim that beard for Conrad too.
Yeah. And also shout out to, not just the male figures, but also the female figures who act as mothers and fathers to your families. So,
if you keep saying that, my mom's going to expect a present on Father's Day. She has brought that up every year. And I'm like, yeah, no, sorry.
Well, in this family, we don't discriminate against what kind of genitalia you have.
Oh my God.
You
can give her a gift for Father's Day then. I'm all out.
Oh my God. Well, guys, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And thank you for listening. We have a couple episodes coming up. When we keep talking about this, we're going to talk about our sex life. I promise.
We promise.
I know you guys are spicy about the sex life episode, so we're going to touch on it. Hopefully in the next couple episodes, we're planning it out.
Yeah.
We got a couple busy weekends coming up, but we always try to make these podcast for you guys and also for us. Actually, I looked back. This is going to be our 20th episode.
Holy cow.
Yeah. We've been doing this for 20 weeks theoretically.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah. So,
wow.
We make this for you guys.
Armchair Expert's going to be on their 600th episode.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And that doesn't include Flightless Bird. That's just him and Monica.
Wow.
So the anonymous and
the regular armchair.
Yes.
Wow. Even the experts on experts?
I think so.
Has to be.
I think so.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Are we going to hit 600?
We're going to 6-6.
We're going to 6-6? We're going to have 6-6 tonight?
I guess I'm thinking about our sex life.
6-6? Oh my gosh. Wow, 600 episodes. Yeah. We're going to make 600. And this is what I thought about when I was looking back. We have 20 episodes, and it's been, I don't think, me personally, and you can chime in if you want, it hasn't been boring for us, at least. Yeah. And it hasn't really been that big of a burden to do because it literally is just quality time that Molly and I spend with each other.
Yeah.
And not only are we making this for you guys, but also, I thought of this is something that our kids can even watch and see how mom and dad kind of just talked. And what does mom and dad do when we go to bed on Friday nights? Things like that. This is also for our posterity and our family to like look back on and just kind of see.
That kind of gave me chills.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's like our journal.
Yeah.
Like our weekly journal, but in the podcast form. Not only for just our family, but for everybody.
So we got to be careful what we say about our kids on this. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I think with any kind of communication, we should be able to freely but distinctly say things also respectfully.
Yes.
And with a little bit of taste.
Yes.
But
no, I'm teasing.
That's just like what we've established this podcast as, is something that people can reference to. People can get to know us. I know during COVID, people were, kind of locked up in their homes and hard to communicate and hard to really, I guess communication had to be revamped because of the situations that we're in. But, that doesn't mean you can't just have a random conversation on a Friday night with your spouse, with your significant other, with your friends, with your family. So I think more so than just recording this on a weekly basis because we have to get an episode out, it's also just giving us the moment to just hang out.
Yeah, I have never felt like, oh, we have to do a podcast tonight. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to miss a week.
This podcast has also evolved. We had topics in the beginning, and we'll probably get back to that. But it's also nice to just kind of just have a conversation.
Yeah, and I feel like, the last couple of weeks were kind of random.